Welcome to the Game Sense Football Podcast. My name is Ewen, and with me, as usual, is Nas.
Hello.
Hey, in today's episode, we will each be picking a team of 11 players who have not ever won the Premier League. Will we end up with teams full of Spurs or Liverpool players? Probably not. But stay tuned to find out who we pick. And if you enjoyed our podcast, do consider subscribing. And remember to also check us out on Instagram at GameSenseFootball. Do remember that you can catch our episodes on both Spotify and YouTube. And for those people with Apple devices, we're also on Apple Podcasts, if you care about that. So Nas, United lost badly this weekend. And after the game, Ruben Amorim said that this was probably the worst team in the history of Man United.
Yes.
So without going maybe too deep into discussions, because we can probably talk to the cows come home. Do you agree with what he says?
He did punctuate that by saying that he was very aware that would be a headline statement, but I think he's not entirely wrong. I think we had a discussion off recording the other day, a few weeks ago, and I said, has there been any Man United team in the Premier League era with a worse strike force, for example? Like Ashley Young would walk into this United team. Alexis Sanchez, as bad as he is, would walk into this United team. Henrik Mkhitaryan and Shinji Kagawa. I love Kagawa, but they would walk. They weren't good for United.
Yeah.
They would walk into this United team. So hard to say he's way off the mark.
It's between this and maybe the Ralph Rangnick one, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's got to be one of the teams over the last few years, and unfortunately, that's the reality. I think the team's mentality has been really, really, really poor. Yeah. Oh well. All right. I guess we can go into greater depth about this, sometime in the future. We haven't done a United episode in a long time, so perhaps.
Yeah, perhaps.
Yes. Any other interesting observations that you made?
Yeah, so
this week?
Quite interesting one I realized this weekend is in the Newcastle game, Bournemouth smashed Newcastle, right? Maybe a bit surprisingly.
5-1?
5-1?
4, right?
4 or 5, whatever.
4-1?
I don't know. But Justin Kluivert scored a hat-trick, right?
Hat-trick,
Second
yes.
hat-trick of the season. The first one was when he scored 3 penalties in the game. The hat-trick itself isn't the interesting thing. Not directly, at least. But if you remember, Justin Kluivert, famously son of Patrick Kluivert, who was recently mentioned here by taking over Indonesia. But Patrick Kluivert used to play for Newcastle, remember?
Yeah.
In his one season for Newcastle, Patrick Kluivert was actually top scorer in all comps. However, after that game, Justin Kluivert, who plays for Bournemouth, has had more Premier League goals at St. James's Park than Patrick Kluivert. Yeah, Patrick Kluivert in that season.
How many did his dad score
in the
at
league?
Home?
One. He scored 1 at home.
So he was an away specialist.
Yes. Yeah, and he scored in the cups, But yeah, so that was the weird observation I've had over the weekend. Trying not to observe United.
Trying not to observe United. Gosh, yeah. Okay, so right, on to our player picks for our 11 aside teams of players who have not won the Premier League. What other rules are there, Nas?
Okay,
can you
so
explain?
We're doing 11 aside, non-Premier League winners, as you have said, Ewan. We have agreed to go with a 4-3-3 formation, and we'll go with a draft format. So we'll take turns picking players, and we can't pick the same player twice, obviously. And
okay.
The other sort of rule or restriction, if you want to look at it, is long-time listeners of this podcast will know that a number of weeks ago, I think episode 37, we did a 2010s Premier League 7-a-side team. Okay, we're not vetoing them, but we'll try as far as possible not to touch them. And the last rule is that if a player has played for more than one team, let's say it's Daniel Sturridge, who played for Liverpool and City and Chelsea and West Brom, I think, we can mark him as a West Brom player if we wanted to save our picks for Liverpool and Chelsea.
Okay. I shall start, I
Yes.
guess. Okay, so goalkeeper, I've picked Shea Given.
That's a very, very high pick. Yeah. Irish keeper played for
Yeah,
Are you picking him for Newcastle or
Aston Villa.
Aston Villa? Okay.
I'm saving my Newcastle pick for someone else. The reason why I picked him, interestingly, was because he was actually part of the Blackburn team that won the 94 Premier League title. But he did not get a medal
Because he didn't play
because
enough.
he didn't play at
He
all
didn't play at all. You know,
in
I
the league.
never
Yes.
knew he was part of that squad.
Yes, so he was actually the second keeper
Right.
behind Tim
Tim
Flowers.
Flowers, yeah. So I've gone with an Aston Villa keeper as well.
Oh,
And my pick is Emi Martinez.
Emi Martinez.
Yes.
Wow. Good.
Current Yashin Award holder, right? I think.
Who else did you have on your list?
I had Brad Friedel and Nick Pope.
Brad Friedel. Okay, so I have David James. Yep.
I find that there's quite a lot of good keepers we could have gone with, like Hugo Lloris.
Yeah. Yep. So I do think that keepers in general, a lot of them are actually decent, very decent players. Just that, of course, they don't play for that decent teams. I guess sometimes. Yeah. And so David James, the reason why I wanted to pick him, he is the player with the most number of Premier League appearances as well to have never won the title.
I would have said top 10, not top 5, but yeah, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so you'll discover along the way later that my team is actually full of fun fact players more than super good players, but that's my team, man.
That's a good way to go, yeah. Okay, so Shea Given and Emi Martinez. I'll go with the right back, and my pick for right back is Kieran Trippier for Burnley.
Oh, but
yeah. Also saving my Newcastle pick.
Burnley. Yeah. Nice. Very, very decent player. I like him quite a bit. And he's a United fan.
Yes. His
family's a United. They're all United fans. Yeah. All right. My pick for right back. Dan Petrescu. Sheffield Wednesday.
Oh, Sheffield Wednesday. Okay.
Yeah, so he joined Sheffield Wednesday off the back of a successful 1994 World Cup with Romania. That was the best ever showing. They reached the quarterfinals. En route to that, they beat Argentina in the round of 16. Quite a high-profile victory. And fun fact, he named one of his daughters Chelsea.
Really?
After the club that he joins after Sheffield Wednesday.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I also had Seamus Coleman and Glenn Johnson.
Seamus Coleman. Actually, that's a really good pick. I didn't have a second choice for right back because I knew you wouldn't pick Jen Petrescu.
Oh, okay.
If you did that, then I would have deserved not having a second pick and embarrass myself right there. Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, centre back.
Okay. This is my first pick. Richard Dunn, Man City.
Richard Dunn, who I think has scored the most number of own goals.
Legend. Yeah, so he's a legend. Okay, absolute legend. So as you said, he is the guy with the most number of own goals with 10 in the Premier League of all time. So highest own goal scorer.
Yes.
And joint most number of red cards as well.
Yes.
In Premier League history with 8.
So you've picked Richard Dunn for City or?
City.
Okay, Richard Dunn. Very good.
Richard Dunn.
My first pick is Phil Jagielka for Sheffield United.
Oh.
Sheffield United, Phil Jagielka. Yep.
Phil Jagielka.
I've always liked Phil Jagielka. Very versatile, good leader, solid defender. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Nice pick. I actually had Phil Jagielka as my next one.
Oh, really?
I was so confident you wouldn't pick him.
He was actually my first pick for defender. And okay, so I'll pick.
Yes.
Defender
so
next.
you picked Phil Jagielka.
Yep.
So I can't pick.
Yep.
I can't pick him. So I'll just explain. The reason why I wanted to pick him was because David Moyes once told Rio Ferdinand and Nemanja Vidic to use him as an example on how to play.
Oh, right. Yes.
In central defense.
Yes.
It's really a main. Yes. So you see, yeah, my teams are like a fun fact team. So okay, never mind. I've got my backup.
Okay, go on.
Winston Bogart.
Oh.
Spent 4 years in Chelsea. but he's most famously known for not wanting to break his contract
Yes.
when he really wasn't in the team anymore.
Mm.
So, of that 4 years, in the last 3 years of his term there, he didn't play a single Premier League game.
Yes.
Yes, and famously, yeah, wanted to just sit out,
Mm.
just run his contract down. And yeah, I mean, otherwise, I remember him being a
Yeah.
decent defender,
Decent
actually.
player.
Barcelona alumni as well.
Mm. Dutch international. Yeah.
But um,
Most
he had
yeah,
the
memorable for the
he had the
contracting now.
yeah he had the I guess practical sense to prioritize money, I guess.
Okay, so my second defender, I'm very torn because I
Mm,
have two
mm.
very good defenders and one which I'm actually leaning more towards.
Okay,
So I'll actually lean.
just go with your heart. Go with your heart, man.
Okay, if it's my heart, I'll go with the former United player, but the guy I'm picking for Stoke, Ryan Shawcross.
Oh, Ryan
Yeah.
Shawcross.
So
Yes, yes.
Ryan Shawcross, centre back, decent player as well. He actually has more clean sheets in the Premier League than Jan Vertonghen, than John Stones, and also Andy Robertson.
Ah,
Amazing, I know, yeah. And he also only played one England game, and it was the game where Zlatan scored the bicycle kick from God knows how far. Yeah,
wow.
and then he never got called up again. But so yeah, Ryan Shawcross, the former United player playing beside Phil Jagielka, the United fan. The other two which I considered, which now because of
Mm-hmm.
your prompting I did not pick, were both from Chelsea, Thiago Silva
Uh-huh.
or Antonio Rudiger.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm. We go on to
Mm.
left back now.
Left back.
Mm.
Yes. At left back,
Mm.
at left back, I will go with who's that? Yes. I'll use my Liverpool pick right now.
Oh,
Jimmy Traore.
I thought you would go as a different Liverpool player, but okay, Jimmy Traore
Like Paul Konchesky?
or John Onarise.
Nah, I mean, I'm not here to pick quality players. I'm here to pick players that I can have a good anecdote on,
Okay, go on.
So like Jimmy Traore,
Mm.
was famously bad, at Liverpool, yet he kept playing. I remember when I was younger,
Mm.
so I have a lot of friends who are Liverpool supporters, some common friends
Yes,
with you as well, Nas.
unfortunately.
And yes, I watched a lot of Liverpool games,
Mhm.
and the guy was a joke. And yeah, all of them, they were like just cursing at him all the time. Yet the guy's a Champions League winner.
Champions League winner, yes.
Yeah, so this guy, yeah, he brings back some good memories of how Liverpool had a really bad left back for me. So that works.
Okay, okay.
Jimmy Traore.
Jimmy Traore. Ironically, I had two former Liverpool left backs as my backups as well. John
Mm.
Onarise and Jose Enrique. But who I went with
Ah,
is an Everton player, but I'm picking for Wigan,
okay.
Leighton Baines.
Leighton
Leighton
Baines.
Baines, who,
Very, very, very good left back,
yeah,
actually.
free kick specialist. I forgot he played for Wigan, but yes, Leighton Baines.
So I think we forgot to mention we are going with
4-3-3.
picking our teams based on a 4-3-3 formation.
Mm-hmm.
So right now we are going into the midfield.
Mm-hmm.
We have the freedom
Mm,
of picking a combination of whether we want center mids, defensive mids, or attacking mids.
correct.
So you go first for the first one.
Sure.
Nice.
Okay, so I'm going with two defensive or two central midfielders and one attacking midfielder. Okay. So my
Okay.
first deep midfielder
Mm.
is my Liverpool pick, Xabi Alonso.
Yes, yes,
Yes,
yes.
Xabi Alonso.
I would have used him
Hmm.
if you did not pick
Okay.
Phil Jagielka earlier. So because Winston Bogart can play left back, so he would have been my left back instead of
Right.
Jimmy Traore.
Yes.
Yes. But okay. Yeah, Xabi
Yeah, I
Alonso
mean,
would have been my pick.
Xabi Alonso, one of the best ever, like deep lying playmakers ever to have played.
Okay, okay. Good choice.
Mhm.
Of course, the obvious pick here would have been Steven Gerrard, but we were trying to avoid the repeating our earlier picks from episode 37,
Yes.
as mentioned earlier. Okay, my first pick.
Mm.
I'm just gonna go for him before, or if in case you are thinking of picking him,
Okay.
Bruno Fernandes.
He was one of my picks, yes.
Yeah. So I'm going with Bruno Fernandes. Probably one of my only modern players in this list.
Okay.
Yes. He is, I guess, he has been our best player throughout this really dark period in United history.
Yep.
He has also been part of the team that we can say are probably, the teams that are probably the worst United teams ever.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Yes.
Yeah, but the fact is, his numbers don't lie. I think they are really impressive. I don't have them on hand right now, but I suppose most of you listening would have an idea. And of course, he's the captain of the club right now. Whether deserved or not, that's another discussion altogether.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's my pick, Bruno Fernandes.
Oof. Good pick. Good pick. Good pick.
Okay.
Your second midfielder?
Juninho Paulista.
Oh, he was one of my picks.
Middlesbrough.
He was one of my picks.
He was.
He was one of my picks, yes. Juninho, yes.
Juninho. I remember back in, was it like the 90s or something? Yeah,
90s,
in the 90s. Yeah, when he signed for Middlesbrough, he was actually being chased by some of Europe's top clubs. I have no idea who. I just remember this.
So
And
Italian clubs who had the money, I think it was Milan and
most probably, yeah. During those days, the Italian clubs were the big ones. And the season that he came, he pulled the club into both cup finals, the League Cup final and the FA Cup final. And they had some like points deduction in the league because of something.
I think they couldn't play a game because of too many injuries or illness or something like that.
Or they fielded a player that's not supposed to be fielded. I don't know, whatever, else, right? Yeah. I can't remember. But I remember they got the points deduction. The points deduction actually caused them to get relegated.
Correct.
And they went to 2 cup finals still.
Yes.
But they lost both cup finals.
Yes.
Juninho was like, he loved the club so much. He actually went back twice on loan. Once while playing, or after playing for Atletico Madrid. And another time after he won the 2002 World Cup.
It's it. Yeah, Juninho. He was legit superstar, turning up for Middlesbrough.
Legit.
Yeah. And that's why I picked him. But I'm happy with my backup, which I will reveal in a minute. But not now, because I'm still going by position. So my other deep midfielder, we're not picking Gerrard. I've picked Xabi Alonso. I'm going with the third player in that Liverpool triumvirate, Javier Mascherano for West Ham.
Mascherano.
By picking him for West Ham.
Yeah.
So I have
makes sense. West Ham.
Yeah. Xabi Alonso and Mascherano as my 2 deeper midfielders. Mascherano, really, really good, like tenacious, like defensive shield, right? If you've never seen him play, it's like,
yeah,
there's very few players like him nowadays. And at Barcelona, he sort of was reinvented as a centre back. But he made his name playing as a midfield destroyer, and him and Alonso, they're the midfield like pivot, double pivot in my team, and
double pivot
proven to work. And my third midfielder, since you took Juninho, who was my pick here, and Bruno Fernandes was my second pick here, it's going to be JJ Okocha.
Oh yeah,
JJ Okocha, who
won. I had him on the list as well.
Yeah, like he actually scored and assisted very few goals. Attacking midfielder for Bolton, just maybe the most flair player to have ever played in the Premier League.
Most flair player in the world, probably at some point.
At some point, yeah. I mean, like he was like a less efficient version of Ronaldinho, and that's saying a lot. Like, but they're very similar, I think.
Okay, mine.
Yes.
I went a bit backwards, I guess.
Okay.
So I started with the more attacking midfielders. I'm going with my defensive one right now.
Okay.
Vinnie Jones for Wimbledon.
Vinnie Jones, okay. Vinnie Jones, very good.
So if you didn't know him as a footballer, you might know him as an actor.
Yes. What's your favorite Vinnie Jones film or TV show?
This Lock, Stock and Smoking Barrels. Was that?
Yep, that's it. Yep. He was in recently. There was a show, The Gentleman. He's in there as well.
The Gentleman. I don't think I watched that
on Netflix. Quite decent. I'm pretty sure that's the one. But yeah.
For those who don't know, he was active in the 90s, and he's like really aggressive, reliant on aggression more than anything. He holds the record for the quickest ever booking in a football match. So that's like 3 seconds, apparently.
From kickoff, right? He yells at the ref or something.
Yeah, correct. Correct. But so he quoted in his autobiography, I must have been too high, too wild, too strong, or too early because after 3 seconds, I could hardly have been too late.
Yeah, yep.
Yes.
Part of the
Yes.
Wimbledon crazy gang.
Yes. So I mentioned earlier that Richard Dunn holds a record for the most number of red cards in the Premier League ever.
Mhm.
Vinnie Jones is actually just one step down.
Okay.
So with seven red
7 red
cards.
cards.
Yes, and for Wimbledon in the 95-96 season, he was the first player ever in the Premier League to get sent off 3 times in a single season.
Oof. History making, history.
Yep, and remember this. You know, he played during a time when referees took a more lenient view
Yep.
on wild tackles and dangerous play. Right.
Yep.
So imagine if you were playing today, I think he wouldn't really be on the pitch very much because he would just be serving bans all the way.
Didn't you pick him for? We had a fan mailbag episode last year, and you said he might be the one who does well in the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, probably.
Mm.
I did. I can't remember. I didn't remember that until you just mentioned it. So
Yeah.
too bad. He appears twice for me.
Okay. Okay. Good. 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 Other midfield picks which I had Paul
Mm-hmm.
Pogba at first, but he was picked in our 2010s team, so I
Mm-hmm.
vetoed him out of my lineup. Scott Parker. I had Ruud Gullit, Stilian
Mm.
Petrov, but I already had an Aston Villa pick.
So I had Ruud Gullit,
Mm.
but my Chelsea pick went to Winston Bogart. And the other one that I had was Xabi Alonso,
Mm-hmm.
which
Which I
I
picked.
also used my Liverpool pick earlier as well. Anyway,
Yeah.
and I had Rafael van der Vaart
Oh.
for Spurs.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, Luka Modric was also an option, which he's not on my list, but former Ballon d'Or player, right? We never pick Luka
Mm.
Modric ever. You know, we keep saying this. There's Luka Modric, we never pick him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're moving on to the right wing. Right wing, and I'm going first, I guess.
Yes, go on.
This player can play both on the wing and in the middle.
Okay.
And I'm going to put you on the wing because that just makes it easier for me. Paulo Di Canio for West Ham.
Again, somebody I wanted to pick. Go on.
Yeah, so Di Canio famously banned for 11 matches once for pushing the referee.
Mm.
He also famously caught a cross from his own teammate with the goal gaping
Yes.
to stop play
Yes.
because the opposition keeper was injured. So very, very good sportsmanship. Quite, popular. I mean, popular among his the fans as well for the teams that he's played for. Very, very passionate player, Italian guy. So
He
Paolo Di Canio.
later joined Lazio and got in trouble by doing some questionable salutes.
Nazi salute.
Yeah, I think every
Yep.
it is again another questionable Lazio story we have here, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
Good pick
Yep. So
for
Paolo Di Canio.
your first winger. My first winger,
Mm.
first choice for me was actually Alexis Sanchez, but for Arsenal, but he also was in my other team before, so he's out. So I've gone with Santi Cazorla, also for Arsenal.
Santi
Yeah,
Cazorla, one of your favorite players.
yes. I think I've mentioned this several times on the show.
Yeah.
Probably one of my favorite Spanish players, especially if you look at only
Mm.
Premier League. Ridiculously talented, two-footed to the point
Yep.
that he scored free kicks with both feet for Arsenal.
So we go on to left wing right now. Who's your left wing pick?
The easy pick is Gareth Bale for Spurs.
Gareth Bale, yes.
Yes. I don't want to pick Gareth Bale for Spurs, even though I think he's like one of the most destructive players to have ever been in the Premier League. So
Yep.
I'm going with the more fun player,
Yeah.
Hatem Ben Arfa for Newcastle.
The Ben Arfa.
Yeah.
Nice.
One of before Alan Saint-Maximin, maybe the best dribbler that I've ever seen in the Premier League. And better than Giggs, better than Ronaldo, better than Jeremy Doku and Savinho and Grealish and all. But Hatem Ben Arfa, insane dribbler.
I would have to agree. He's on my list as well, but he's not my first choice for either wing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Hatem Ben Arfa for which team?
Newcastle or Hull.
Hull?
Either one doesn't matter for me at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So my pick would be a Newcastle player as well.
Okay. Can I guess?
Yeah. Yeah. Go.
Is it David Ginola?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Strikingly handsome. My main memories of him
Mm.
when I was watching as a youngster was that he at that time and at that time they didn't really play inverted wingers. But David Ginola was a right-footed left winger.
Mm.
And they didn't really do the whole cut in to make the diagonal runs
Yes.
to go on your strong foot. Hardly ever during those days.
Mhm.
And what he would do is he would always do an outside foot cross
Yeah.
with his right foot.
Trivella.
And very, 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 very iconic. That's something that I remember a lot.
Mm.
So I had to pick him.
Who else
Yes.
were your options for wingers?
Harry Kewell
Okay. Harry Kewell, good one.
and Ben Arfa.
Mm.
Yeah. So those were my picks.
I had Son for Spurs and
Yeah.
Wilfred Zaha and Michael Olise for Crystal Palace, or Craig Bellamy.
Oh, Craig Bellamy.
Mm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I try to avoid active players
Mhm.
right now. Try.
Try.
So I guess Bruno is the only one.
Yep. Okay, so let's move on to our final position, striker.
Striker. Okay. Who's going? Me? Me?
Yes.
Me. All right. Southampton player, guess.
Southampton player, a
I
striker.
picked Letizier already for the previous draft, so I would have picked Letizier, but because I picked him previously, I'm not gonna pick Letizier.
Southampton player. Was it? Did Alan Shearer play for Southampton?
He did, but he also won the Premier League with Blackburn.
That's a good point. So you got Alan Shearer.
Okay,
Southampton
okay.
player. Who?
Kevin
But
Davis.
I thought it was gonna be like Ricky Lambert or something. But okay, Kevin Davis.
More famous for playing for Bolton, I guess.
Mm.
But I mean, it could have been Southampton, it could have been Bolton as part of my choices, but with kind of mess with your mind a little bit more if I said Southampton.
Yes.
So why did I pick him? I honestly think that he's one of the most underrated strikers around during his day. He
Okay.
never really scored that many goals. He's not one of those guys who score goals, but he's so irritating as a striker. So annoying. So one stat is that he is the striker with the most number of fouls in the Premier League history. Premier League history.
Wow. Okay.
Famously as well, Rio Ferdinand has actually said that Kevin Davis was horrible to play against. Really nasty player, very physical, would grab, scratch, whatever, It's one of the most difficult strikers that he had to play against, which is high praise coming from a player.
Yeah.
Like
Rio has played
Ferdinand.
against the best players in the world.
Yes, exactly. So
Interesting.
Kevin Davis.
Not who I would have predicted you pick, but goes with the theme of your team. So
yes,
not a bad pick. Okay.
Yes.
I actually also have quite a few horrible players here, in the sense I had Carlos Tevez, also horrible to play against. I had
but he won the Premier League, did he not?
Yeah, so originally I had Tevez and then took him out because I was like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
obviously he won the Premier League. So I had Fernando Torres, who also horrible to play against for various reasons. I had Raul Jimenez, but I settled on the player who has won a league title in every country he's played in except for when he came to England.
Zlatan.
Funnier that I have Ryan Shawcross in the team as well. So yeah, Zlatan, who ended Shawcross's England career in like 60 minutes. But So Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who is
Mm.
also could also at times very nasty, but just one a generational talent for kind of forward and probably the most entertaining footballer to have ever s- been created.
Yes, definitely one of my
Yeah,
favorites.
yeah.
Zlatan. Yeah, good. Nice pick. Nice pick.
Mm,
So another player that I actually wanted to put in, but I removed him from the list
mm,
because Chelsea, two is the
mhm.
Bogart,
Okay.
uh, was Zola.
Yes, Zola was floating around. Zola is my favorite Chelsea player.
Yeah, I mean he's one of my favorite Italian players.
Mm.
Yeah. So he didn't win the league, and quite high profile guy as well.
Those are let's go through our teams, okay?
Okay, so in goal
Mm,
it's Shea Given, and right back Dan Petrescu.
mhm,
My centre backs are Richard Dunn and Winston Bogart. My left back is Jimmy Traore.
mhm,
In my midfield, I have Vinnie Jones,
mhm,
Bruno Fernandes, and Juninho Paulista.
mm.
And in my on the right is Paulo Di Canio. On the left, David Ginola.
Mhm.
And in the middle, in striker, is Kevin Davis.
Your team has a really interesting blend of flair and viciousness.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
right.
And in Bruno you have both, but yeah, like I don't know what Jimmy Traore has, but the rest of them, yeah.
Yeah, it's nothing, man. Yeah, like shit and giggles, that's all.
Champions League winner, Champions League winner. He'll always have
Champions
that.
League. It's a
Yeah.
Champions League medal,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay. So that's your team. My team,
Yes.
Emi
Mm,
Martinez in goal, Kieran
good.
Trippier at right back,
Mm,
centre back pairing of Phil Jagielka and Ryan Shawcross,
mm.
Leighton Baines at left back. Both of my
Yep.
fullbacks can take set pieces. Uh, Xabi Alonso
Mm,
and Javier Mascherano in midfield.
mhm.
JJ Okocha behind the front three of Santi Cazorla, Hatem Ben Arfa, and Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Ooh. Yours has a lot of raw talent.
Mm.
Mine, mine is just raw aggression, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, we had some fans as well. I mean, listeners rather. Well, I
Mm.
hope they're fans who actually indicated their teams as well. Any
Ye-
interesting picks?
Yeah, so the winner of our 2024 quiz, Elias,
Hmm.
he sent in his team, which actually had a few mistakes, as I pointed out. So, but originally, Nigel Martin in goal, he
Hmm.
back four of John Onarise, Ledley King, Jonathan Woodgate, Graham Lasso. I pointed out he had two left backs, and
And Graham also has a Premier League medal.
that's also true. So Graham Lasso has to be removed. So he had Matt Letizier, Santi Cazorla, Xabi Alonso in midfield, and
Hmm.
front three of Di Canio, Zlatan, and Zola. So similar to ours in
Oh,
that. Yeah,
pretty similar. Yeah.
yeah. So another listener that sent in a team is Fami, who tends to
Hmm.
like these kinds of seven aside, 11 aside things. Uh,
He's the guy who always asks us to do this.
yes, he is. So some of the players he picked, he also
Hmm.
picked JJ Okocha. But he also wanted to choose Georgie Kinkladze at City. Uh,
Ooh,
yeah,
I like
that's a
him.
that's a
Georgian
good.
fella.
Yes, yes. Tugai for Blackburn in centre back, and Ian Hart at left back for Leeds.
In Hut, yes, part of that legendary Leeds team that went all the way to the Champions League semi-finals.
Yep, with Harry Kewell and
And
all.
then they went bankrupt.
Yes. Such also loyal listener. He
Yes.
also had David Ginola. Uh,
Okay.
he had a centre back pairing of Fernando Hierro at Bolton and Gareth Southgate at Middlesbrough.
Very interesting.
Yeah. He also had
But
Stuart
why
Pearce.
pick Southgate for Middlesbrough when you can have picked like Juninho or like Ravanelli?
Yeah, to be fair, his midfield was Mascherano, Gerrard, and Bruno. So yeah,
All right,
yeah.
all
So
right.
those were some of the interesting picks that some of our fans sent in. So if you have any uh objections to our picks or better ideas, do send in your feedback.
Yes, do send in your feedback. You can leave a comment anywhere that you're watching this video, or just drop us an email at gamesensefootball@gmail.com. gmail.com
Mm.
or on Instagram, of course, with our handle Game Sense Football. Before we go, winners and losers for this week.
Winners and losers for this week. So, for me, the winner and loser are both linked in that they are both the Manchester clubs and they are both about the number 6. Okay?
Okay.
So, let's start with the more positive. And City scored 6 against Ipswich, right, over the weekend. And that's the 13th time they've scored 6+ goals in the Premier League under Pep Guardiola. That's the same number as Arsenal scored under Wenger and one less than United scored under Sir Alex Ferguson.
Wow.
The loser is the other Manchester club, Manchester United.
Oh,
So
come on.
Yeah, unfortunately. We've already mentioned them losing, but that's 6, but 6 home games lost this season. And that's an
So
incredibly
terrible.
shit record.
Yes. All right. Okay, so for me, my winner is Dele Alli.
Como?
Yes, so I mean the guy is, making a comeback, right? After I'm not sure how long
He
out,
hasn't played since 2023.
Yeah, and he's had some like high profile mental health issues that he's been talking about and all that. So I mean, glad to see that he's making a comeback. He's an opportunity to kind of revive his career in idyllic Como by the lakes and all that, beautiful lakes. So hopefully he can, get his career back on track. I think, even if it's not to the level that he used to be playing at, but as long as he can sustain kind of a job in a club, as a player, I think that's a good start. Loser, mainly, Sean Dyche, or Sean Dyche, however you want to pronounce it.
Okay.
It's like, I mean, woeful record with Everton this season, struggling. The moment he leaves, they beat Spurs. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
All right, so that brings us to the end of our episode. And remember, drop us a like and subscribe. Thank you for listening. Till next time, see ya.
See you guys.